A warm welcome today for an energy update for the month of November. And the energies are really amazing. I think a lot will happen this month and also maybe the next month. And today I'm also here with my dear friend Sarah Costa, and she's also a very amazing astrologer. And we will now look at the chart for the month of November, and also we will also look to some of the country charts so that we can see what we have to expect for the upcoming month. So welcome, Sarah.
Hey, Sylvia. Hi, everyone.
Hi. So I will share my screen so that we can see the horoscope of the month. And this is the 1st of November, and the month starts with an amazing event that happens at the end of October. Maybe, Sarah, do you want to say something about this?
Yes, so we enter November with the energy of the last eclipse of the year, which happened on 28th of October. And so this is, this brings this, eclipse energy. And when we enter November, we are still ending this eclipse season. So it's intense. It's normal that people feel the intensity, of course.
Yes. And this eclipse also, and I make about the eclipse an extra video, is Mars is involved, Keto is involved,
Yeah.
all those
Again.
planets that triggered a lot of events um, in the last months. We know about Israel, and this is really very, very intense energy. Sorry to say it, but
Yeah.
so we will look what might happen in November. And there we have the change of Venus. Venus will change in the sign of Virgo on the 3rd. And I change here now the planets on the 3rd of November. And Venus is weak in the sign of Virgo. What do you think, Sarah, about this change?
Yeah, I think it will bring the also because Mercury was there the last month. I mean in October, the issues about health, about healing, about it's also the house of being critical. So people might also be critical in relationships because Venus also represents that finances. So this might affect as well, but especially like people being critical in again in diplomacy issues because Venus also represents that. So criticism, also perfectionists, in general, people might feel those energies. And
Yeah.
Virgo is also the sign of conflict. I mean, it's the natural sixth house. So this might, unfortunately, I think with the last eclipse on the 28th of October, with Mars and K2 again after the solar eclipse, and again Mars with this eclipse, I think unfortunately we might see this war at least continuing in the next 6 months. Yeah.
Yes, and we have now Venus in opposition of Neptune, and this is also brings up um, maybe a realization of some deception we can experience or something. Yes, what do you think about this, Sarah?
Yeah, also things happening that we don't know about,
Yeah,
like these clouds
yes,
that is Neptune, right?
yeah.
So yeah, a lot happens that we don't know about. So that's interesting as well.
And it can bring more problems in relationships, maybe.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Then we will look at next. We have on the 4th of November, Jupiter and the Sun in nearly the same degrees, 70 degrees. And
Yeah.
this connects those planets. And what do you think about this, Sarah? Do you think something?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a good aspect, I would say,
Yes.
uh, because Jupiter and Sun are what we call Sattvic planets, which are have this good energy, harmony. So that's definitely good. But yeah, still Mars is there, Ketu is there with the Sun, and Jupiter is also between Rahu and Uranus. But yeah, I would say it's a good energy for that day.
And at the same
Expansion.
Yes, and at the same day, also Saturn will become direct,
Direct, yes.
and this is always an intense time when Saturn nearly stands still, and this triggers a lot of energies. And 6 degrees is very near to 7 degrees, and
Yeah.
there is the moon in the US chart, and this can bring up, yeah, some further energies about something that can happen there. Maybe we will see.
Yeah, I think also people will feel, of course, in the area of life affected by Saturn or where Saturn is located for it for the personal charts, that things start moving again in that area of life. But yeah, when like the period of Saturn retrograde is really, yeah, a lot of ups and downs and setbacks. So when he goes direct, the energy again, like this discipline, organization, energy will be better in that way.
Yes. So if you have a personal Vedic horoscope, you also can look which house this is, Aquarius in your chart, and then you see in which part of your life maybe there will now bring, there will be a change that it now moves easier forward in that way.
Also because this is Aquarius, so in a collective way, Aquarius is about also about service, about communities, about fighting for human rights. So these might become more and more. We have seen a lot of protests, and but this might become even more intense because Saturn is in the Nishta nakshatra, so it connects with Mars. So there is a lot of, yeah, frustration there as well. So
Yeah.
things might get heated up on that on that part of riots, protests, and yeah,
Yes,
fight.
because those riots and those protests we also can see with Rahu in Ashwini
Mhm.
is about these rebellion energies, and also Ketu in Chitra is also this rebellion. So it's really very, very, yes, important topic at this time that people do not want to experience those old rules and those old systems. They do not really work anymore. And people,
Yeah.
they
Mhm.
search for change. And so that is really important. Let's switch to the new moon on the 13th. Yes, at 26
Yeah.
degrees is the new moon. And I told in one of my last videos that we have now the new moons in a row at 26 to 27 degrees till April. That's really amazing.
Yeah, it might this has a meaning for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Also, yeah, again, we have again this Mars K2 there. And actually it's very interesting because Mars is like the warrior and the fighter, and it's good. It's not because sometimes we talk about the planets and maybe people think that okay, these planets are bad and the other planets are good, but it's not really that way. It's just the way we react, and we react out of anger, because our awareness is not as a collective. I'm speaking, but it's not really high at this point. And so like Mars has this warrior energy and fighting for what is right. um and K2 is this headless being, like the body without the body. uh and so with Mars, it really brings this energy of losing one's head, like completely losing the rationality of things. That's why we always see Mars and K2, when they come together, there are always terrorist attacks. We can see, I mean, we can see in history in 9/11, other, I think it's Madrid terrorist attack also. So in all of these sad events, these two are together. So that's why, like, when they come together, we really have to be aware. Okay, these energies are very like heated up, so people have to be very conscious of that. But of course, yeah, we are still not there as a collective.
Yes, and when there is the new moon, then there is also more energies concentrate at this that heats those energies up with the new moon. And the new moon is also a dark moon. That means we are not really clear with our mind. And we have there also at 26 degrees in
Yeah.
opposition
Okay.
Uranus. Amazing when it's so exactly. And Uranus brings unexpected events often, and sometimes connected with electricity and also with the sky, that something coming from
Ah,
um,
yes, aviation also, right? Like, um also energy. Yeah, it's really, when Sylvia, does Uranus move to Barani again?
this is a little bit later.
Is later. Okay,
Um,
no, it's
wait,
later.
I
It's
have
just because I was thinking maybe if it's like right after, it's interesting to
it is
see.
5 days later on the 18th of November.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's really close then to this new moon.
Yes, and this
Yeah,
is
this would be an intense one.
very intense. Yes, and also Kritika, this nakshatra, this lunar
Yeah,
mansion where Uranus sits in, is connected with the sun, and this connects more to those energies. And
really
it's
connected.
really not, these are high energy days where maybe something else can happen.
I was telling, so the new moon happens it takes place in Vishaka Nakshatra, which is Jupiter. And so it directs us to Aries because Jupiter is there. So he's giving its energy directly to this new moon. And so this will be very intense. Also, I don't know if I have mentioned like the Monday, that it's a Monday, this new moon. So this will be is the moon's day, so it will be people in general will feel really an emotional day. And even like the results of this new moon we will see later with the full moon, and even later sometimes, because in astrology we have these triggers that are one, a second one, a third one, and then same things happen. So we will see.
Yes, yes, that's really important to understand. It must not happen on the day of the eclipse or the day of the new moon, but those energies are the seed that something can happen then later.
And also, Sylvia, sorry, just one last thing about the new moon. It's interesting because so the new moon happens in Libra, and so we have to check where is Venus. And so Venus is also, it's like 12 from this new moon. If we count from the moon, it's in the last house, which means some losses, unfortunately. some endings, like ending of cycles. Yeah, again, there is, I don't know, something, because Mars was there not long ago, Mercury is there about disease. I still, yeah, something is there still for me, I think. And with Neptune, as you mentioned, like aspecting Virgo and all these planets that happen there is maybe something that we don't know about, you know. And
Yes,
yeah, again, it's conflict. So this, unfortunately, this new moon around this day, like, might be a bit violent. Yeah.
yeah. This I also think. And then there will be another very big or intense shift. This shift is when the sun and also when Mars will change in the sign of Scorpio. And I
Mhm.
will just do it here in the program so that you can see the
Yeah.
change now. Mars is on the 16th of November, changed in Scorpio, and then also the sun on the next day. And those
Yeah.
energies are really not not easy. And Sun and Mars is often connected with aggressive speaking, and also with Mercury, with no diplomacy, and brings up often very, yes, intense energies. And what do you think, Sarah, about this?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think so as long as we have Ketu in Libra, and he has been there since March of 2022. So we there is no, I mean, there is no way for diplomacy. That's how it is, because where a K2 is in the chart, again, in the personal chart, or also we are seeing collectively. So it's something that it separates us from that. And Libra is really that diplomacy, balance in relationships, in communication with others. So as long as K2 is there, it's really difficult to get to these diplomatic agreements. So when K2 shift, which we will see this month, maybe we might start going in that direction. But definitely Mars, Sun together bring this anger. And the thing is that Mars will travel with the Sun for a long time. So it has started in Libra, it will continue in Scorpio, and Mars is really combust all the time. So yeah, it's not again, it's like this, as Sylvia said, like this fiery energy of these two together. But at the same time, like the sun is truth. It represents truth, right? um so it might also it's like it frees the other planet from the impurities. You know, it's like, maybe I think it will bring some, yeah, it's like this gold being purified by fire, right? And the sun represents this the agni quality in all of us. So yeah, on one side is like the intensity and anger, but on the other side then is Scorpio, so it's really deep things what we talk about.
Yes,
These, yeah, stagnant waters also. So
yes,
these will be also stagnant in a way. What do you think? Like, because it's Scorpio, so it's water, really deep water. So this
yes,
brings stagnancy, I would say, in a
yes.
way.
And I think mostly when those two planets go with the degrees in higher degrees of Scorpio, that the Scorpio energy is more intense and more dark, like, and this will happen here when I go further. Um, and yes, that's not so easy. And Mars is also connecting then to Saturn,
Yeah, you're correct. Yes.
and also with degrees, the Sun also connecting, and we also have Pluto at 4 degrees. This is really like something want to shake up, something want to change. I also think the possibility for earthquakes will
Mhm.
increase at this time. And
Yeah.
yeah.
They are also 6-8 from Jupiter, Rahu, Uranus.
Mhm.
So this is also not so easy relationship. Um, and what you mentioned, like, because all this month of November, almost until the end, I think it's until 24th, Saturn is in the Neshta. So it's really this Saturn Mars energy that we will feel. Like this one wants to run, the other wants to stop.
Yes, and the
So
war
it's really this, yeah, and the Earth also, yeah, because Saturn is also always involved in natural disasters like earthquakes. Yeah, is always there involved.
yes. And also the war in Ukraine started when
Mhm.
Saturn went in
Yeah.
Ishta, and now Saturn is back, and now we saw the terror attack on Jupiter at this time around when Saturn went back retrograde in Dhanista. And we have at this time also the moon in connection with Neptune. And yes, I think those days, 21st, 22 of November, they are also really intense. But it sometimes must not happen at the same day. And what I also, what came into my mind with Moon and Neptune in Purva Bhadrapada, this is also a lunar mention, which is connected to extraterrestrials. And maybe there might be a important sighting. I do not know, but
Yeah, definitely when Rahu goes to Aries, then Saturn goes there as well later, 2025.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes,
And we have seen already, I don't remember when, but yeah, it was actually not long ago. They found these bodies, and I think it was in Mexico.
yes,
You remember? So there was a time, and it was not that long ago, but I think, I mean, it was to seen in the transits.
yes,
So yeah, that a lot of things started to come in the media in the US, in Mexico, so that was very interesting. So
yes.
this might become more and more yeah,
Yeah.
prominent at the time.
And then we have also another very important shift at the end of the month on the 28th of November. Then the lunar nodes will change. And I will
Mhm.
just go further so that you can see. And Venus is at those last days in November. Um, over the solar eclipse degrees, this can also
Mhm.
bring some problems. And I also see problems in the financial markets with those energies in November. It's triggering more and more. And I speak about it all of the year of 2023, but now it's really so intense, those energies. And I think the markets will go down with those energies.
Yeah.
And yeah, and now we look at the change of the lunar nodes. There you can see now Ketu is at 0 degrees, and now it changes. I think it's the 28 in German time at the end of
Yes.
the day.
Mhm.
And there we have also nearly Venus and Ketu at 29 degrees in Chitra. And this what you speak about, Sarah, that maybe a new health crisis can be seen or something in that
Yeah,
way.
let's do that. Yeah.
Yes, I think.
And you, yeah, because then We have Uranus already in Parani, which is again this new birth. So, and actually on the 20, did we speak about it? Like on the 27th, we have the full moon.
Ah,
So the
yes,
day before,
yeah,
I think it's really the day
yeah, that's also
before
important. I forgot. Yes, there is the full moon.
in Rohini, yeah.
In the full moon is always the sun in opposition.
And again, Mars is there. It's like, and I think here in this new moon, in this full moon, sorry, I think we might see the result of what you talked about regarding finances
Mhm.
with Venus, yeah, with Venus actually already ready to step into Libra, and actually maybe days before Venus crossed the eclipse degree, which was 26. So this might also be a trigger for something in the financial markets, which, yeah, I think we will see a lot of change, especially next year when Jupiter goes to Taurus. This will be, yeah, like creation of new ways of making money.
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
very important time. I think about May or
Mm.
June. Then um,
Next
Jupiter
month.
will change in May, but Uranus also will change. I think in June or something. This will bring up new currencies and yeah.
Yeah.
And I
But yeah,
think
this new is really about finances, food, all of that, agriculture.
yes. And the moon in Rohini brings often up some problems. It's not often, not always. Rohini is a favorite, a good nakshatra we speak about, but it can sometimes bring up problems. We will see
Let's see.
what will happen. So I think these are the most important energies for November. Maybe we will look on some country charts. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, I think, yeah, because the K2 Rahu we already mentioned, moving to Pisces and to Pisces and to Virgo. And yes, still Rahu is in Gandanta. So I think it will be until the end of the year in Gandanta, but then now he's in Aries, and then he will be in Gandanta degrees in Pisces, which is water. So it will bring a lot of maybe storms, even things related with water.
Yes, and what Sarah speaks about Gandanta, maybe you heard this word several times in my videos. It is like a border, and it brings up difficulties where we have also maybe we have the feeling of losing control, and those
Yeah.
last degrees in the sign of Pisces, they are, I spoke about, it is the fixed star of the sea monster, and this can bring up heavy events about water and storms and all those things. Yes.
Yeah, we should look because I'm not completely sure, but when there was this volcano and underwater, Togo, I think it was Togo, remember? I think it was 2020. I don't remember if it was 2022 or 2021. I think some planets were there in Gandanta, in Cancer, but
Yeah.
we can look it up. I was like thinking about is really like this water, yeah, tsunamis. Yeah, maybe we can look deeper into that. But it's really storms related with water.
Yeah.
Uh, but then, yeah, I think from January, then Rahu leaves these degrees. But still, Neptune is there, the Varuna god,
And
the
then
god of
Neptune
it.
will change to 5 degrees, and there is sheet, and there it will also bring up some problems. It never ends with the problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. maybe we will look. I have some countries here. Also, I think Israel will be very interesting.
Yes. Hmm. The US also, because really Mars and Sun, but especially Mars going into the US, it really triggers something.
Yes, this is the US chart, and Mars and the Sun
Hmm.
will be in the 12th house, and this,
But it will trigger Saturn, and it will trigger natal moon. And the moon is really not a good planet for the US because it represents the eighth house of unexpected events, and death, also things that we just don't understand. And yeah, I think it will really trigger. I think at that time even Saturn will be closer and closer to this degree that you talked about, also at 7 degrees.
yeah,
And with the eclipse path, um, it will trigger not only the solar eclipse path of the previous eclipse on 14 October, and then the eclipse path that we will have in 2024, the first one. I think it's April, if I'm not wrong, or even before. It will cross again the same position in the US chart. And I think it is around the border with Mexico. We would have to check the map, but maybe something something there might happen, I would say.
yes, and also the Pluto return.
Yeah.
A lot of people know in the second house, it's also about finances, and that will be triggered. Yeah, that's really those passes of the eclipses are very important, and the solar eclipse in on the October the 14th was exactly over Texas and cross over the US. So this is really important. Yeah.
And then
And
you had Israel, right?
yes, we can look at Israel. And Israel, we also have their Ketu, and we have their
Mhm.
sun in the opposition, where then the sun and Mars will be. And this is the third house for Israel. This
Mhm.
means it's about the neighbors, and
Yeah.
Mars and Sun, they bring a lot of aggression with them.
Yeah. And the neighbors are really tough.
Yes.
Yeah. And enemies as well. So because we see, and Sylvia, you have done a great video on that. And but we see like Mars, as you have mentioned also in your video, like Mars, like the house of neighbors, which is Scorpio, and then Mars goes to the 12th house, which is, yeah, losses, but is also enemies. Um,
Hidden
yeah,
enemies.
it's really difficult. Yeah, they actually have now. I mean, they have their nodal return, right? Like Rahu in Aries and K2 in Libra.
Mhm.
So each time these nodes go there, this is each 18 and a half years, this becomes really intense, this conflict, I would say.
Yeah.
Especially now because they are in Rahu cycle. I mean, if we have the right time, of course. But it's, I mean, I think it makes sense, their charts. There is a lot, like, I think you also mentioned that, like, the karmic
Yes.
uh, aspect of this chart, like Palestine and Israel, because also Mars is in Maga, which connects with our ancestors. So
Yes.
this is really something deep rooted in the past as well.
Yes. And also Vishaka is very important because it often means that you can experience a split and unexpected. And And I think Shaka is also very important. And Ketu connects to our ancestors also in that way.
Yeah, and Mars is actually connecting with K2 in Maga in the 12th house. So really, I believe that um, Israel, when Israel finishes this cycle in 2040, we might even see it before. This country will not exist as we know it today. And actually, it has to, with a chart like that, actually born during war, this, I don't believe this will bring peace ever to
Yeah,
this. Sometimes we have to, it's like destroy this birth, in order for a new birth to take place
yeah,
in peace. This is not peace. Like Ketu is in Libra, really difficult.
yes.
And connecting with Mars, so it's really difficult.
I also spoke in my video about this because the Palestine chart and the Israel chart, they do not match in any way good. So there must be maybe a totally new beginning for both as the only option.
Unfortunately, this brings a lot of pain and death for, so yeah, thousands of innocents. Yeah. But yeah, that's why we're still in this ego. Yeah, we can see Rahu there, right, in Aries, also in this period where we have two wars. Like Rahu is bringing us to that energy of Aries. So in these 18 months that Rahu is there, it's also like self-centered energy. If not, of course, the energy is not well directed. It's not the fault of Rahu. It's just if we don't direct the energy in a good way. So this makes, of course, good because, in a way, good because people want to be more independent. They are more centered on themselves, on their growth. But at the same time, is also a lot of egoistic energy if it's directed in a wrong way. And so we have all these, fights and egos and powers and all of that.
Yes.
um,
Maybe we will look at the other country. Maybe Japan. Japan is also maybe a little bit important. I can feel those energies. Are also not as easy, maybe, with the upcoming energies. What do you think, Sarah?
the bigger point, yeah, interesting, this.
Yeah,
So Pluto is on their moon.
yeah,
Yeah, they have these energies, yeah, between 12 and first house, like in this coming month.
yeah,
Yeah, actually, Saturn is aspecting all the planets in their first house.
yeah. And yeah, Saturn in transit
The
is
fourth house, yeah.
aspecting all those planets, and there will be Mars and there will be the Sun. So I think it's really
Trigger
also
something.
a very important chart. Maybe it's more about natural disasters. Maybe we often do not really know. And Saturn is in the fourth house. This is also about the land, and
Hmm.
it connects to Uranus in the sixth house. This can also bring some
Hmm.
problems. We will see it. And this connects to the first house, Mars. Yeah, we will see.
Yeah, one day we could look at the was earthquake, what's tsunami? Yeah, it was a tsunami that they faced in 2017, I think.
Yes, I
One day
think
we
there
can look
was
at
first
the volcanic
earthquake,
eruptions.
and
I
then
think so. Yeah, it was earthquake and then a tsunami after, I think. Yeah,
yes,
maybe it will be interesting. We can do a video maybe once
yeah,
about the tsunami and see the tsunamis in Thailand, like these big natural disasters.
yeah. So I think we have nearly 1 hour, and I know we were asked about so many countries. Do we have another, Sarah, that you want to look at?
Maybe very quick, Palestine and Iran, very quick.
Yes, yes, Iran is immense, interesting. I think I will make also an extra video about Iran.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the chart of Iran. And there is also Neptune at 26 degrees here in the sign of Scorpio, where we will have the Sun and Mars. And
Mhm.
and
Oh, the eclipse was near Pluto, actually.
yes,
Okay, neighbor's house.
yes, third house, neighbor's house.
So this is controlling neighbors, actually, right?
Yeah,
Pluto is control, and third house is neighbors, power.
yeah,
Yeah, hidden money, right? Sometimes Pluto also, but
yes,
special control. So they definitely control the neighbors. So that's maybe what we see in the news, that they give funding to all these organizations.
yeah.
That's definitely
And
what we see.
something very important we have there in the, I think in the lunar eclipse and also in the new moon, the 26 degrees of,
Yeah, there.
of Uranus here, and it
Oh,
is exactly opposition 26 degrees.
to their Uranus. And I think in this new moon, Venus is in the 12th house, isn't it?
Yes,
So it's some kind of loss in the
yeah,
homeland. Maybe they will be attacked.
yes,
Mm,
might be an
I
attack
hope not,
to
but
Iran.
I mean, not because this probably will trigger reactions from all sides. Oh, yeah. This is an intense new moon, full moon, lunar eclipse actually also happens in those houses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought I will make an extra video about this. Yes, that's really
And Palestina triggers
Palestine. Yes, just wait. I have to. Where is Palestina here? It's Palestina. And there we see we have Venus at 25 degrees, like I told in my video. This
Okay.
a lot, this chart. And yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Fourth house. Yeah. This all will happen in the fourth house
yeah,
in the next month. Yeah, in the country.
it's the fourth house is the country. So
Mm-hmm.
there will be more attacks, more problems, more fire.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, because this in Israel is the house of neighbors. Yeah, so it's them in this case, not only Palestine, of course. It's also Iran, Egypt, other countries, but um, yeah, this is included Palestine.
Yeah. So I think it will not end so soon. All those
Yeah,
problems.
unfortunately, I think we will see at least for the next 6 months, because if we see the eclipse, the energies are there all the time, and they come after in full moon, in new moon. So these energies of of this Mars K2 connection, they are there still in the coming months. And of course, because it was involved, this conjunction was involved in the solar eclipse, this is kind of present in the next 6 months until the next eclipse. And then it will be interesting, Sylvia, when we see the Vedic, the new year charts. Then I think it is in March the next year, so we can see like a whole year
Yeah.
for all of these countries.
Yes, we will make an extra video about this. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you do not miss any of those important informations. So I think we will close now, and thank you so, so much for listening, and also Sarah for your amazing perspective and informations you shared with us today.
Yes. Thanks to you. Thanks everyone for
Yes.
being here with us.
And if you want to learn Vedic astrology, we have an online course. Sarah is there, the main teacher, and she shows you everything you have to know. And this is really a great opportunity to learn Vedic astrology and use it for your own life and for your own predictions and to understand yourself in a deeper way.
Yeah, and we have the live calls each 2 weeks where we look deeper into different charts.
Yes.
And yes, you will love it. You will learn it on your own pace, and yeah, it's really worth it.
Yes. So if you are interested, there is a link below the video so you can check it out. So thank you so, so much, and have a good time in November. I think it is most important not only to look on the outside, to connect to your heart with those energies and to find your inner peace in yourself. And this is possible um, also with those energies, and to connect to your heart and bring good vibes into your life and the world.
Into the world, yes. We should organize once a chant, right? With everyone live.
Yes.
We do. Maybe one day.
Sarah, do you have a good mantra we can close today? Maybe something about
Um,
peace or something?
yeah, actually, is bringing, yeah, peace. I always close my readings with a mantra. Yeah, we can do that.
Let's do that.
Yes, okay. So just close your eyes and connect to your breath and bring your palms in front of your heart. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamivavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sylvia, for having me here. Bye.
Bye bye.